Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the often confusing language of corporate America. Today we're diving into a report from Navient Corporation, and let me tell you, there's more to it than meets the eye. It's kind of like finding out your student loans just got a little more complicated because, well, Navient deals with that sort of thing. If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below to discuss these important issues. Scrowy form at 8kscrow, community KKH at form. This is basically a corporate update companies put out when something important happens. Think of it as their version of breaking news. This one is from July of 2025. So what's the big news here? It centers around the pay package for Navient's Chief Executive Officer and President David L. Yowan. Turns out they've made some changes to his compensation. To really understand this, we have to look at this letter agreement. Essentially, Navient and their CEO, David Yowan, made a deal to change their previous agreement from a couple of years ago. They had one from May of 2023, then they changed it in July of 2025. They're tweaking the terms. It's like constantly rewriting the rules. Here's the headline. Yowan's base salary is going up. It's set to increase to $1 million a year, starting in July of 2025. Beyond the base salary, he's also eligible for a bonus. His target bonus amount can be as high as 150% of base salary, meaning if he hits all his targets, he will receive $1.5 million, effectively doubling salary to 2.5 Emma. Now, here's where it gets interesting. On top of his salary and bonus, he's getting a big grant of what's called restricted stock units, so RSUs. One award is 1.6 million and another award is 2.4 million. There are two types of stock awards. The first is standard or restricted stock units. The second is based on performance, what are called performance-based restricted stock units, or PSUs. Both awards are tied to the company's stock, but they work a little differently. The standard RSUs, that 1.6 million award, vests or becomes his overtime based on how long he stays with the company. Half of it vests after a year and the other half after 18 months. But there's a clause: if he gets fired without a good reason or chooses to leave for a good reason, he can get all of it immediately. Also, you need to know that once the RSUs vest, they will be settled in cash and not stock. The performance-based stock units, which are worth 2.4 million, have conditions that are more complex. Like the other ones, the service conditions are satisfied if Yowan stays with the firm for 18 months or is terminated in special circumstances. Scroll PSUs based on a legacy expense target established for each of 2027 and EQ on this. 2027 scroll. Still, what makes it more complex is that those PSUs also vest based on legacy expenses and also TSR. 45% of those performance-based stock units, or PSUs, will vest based on whether the company hits expense targets over the next few years, and 55% will vest depending on how Navient's stock performs compared to other similar companies. If you hit the targets, you get the stock. All these PSUs will be settled in stock. Everything else in the previous agreement stays the same. So that means only these parts are changes. Alright, that's the gist of the letter agreement regarding the CEO's pay. The actual letter is attached as an exhibit if you want all the nitty-gritty details. Scroll exhibit plug to number scroll. And this is pretty standard. They've included the letter itself as one of the exhibits to the filing for those who want to read the real words. Scroll by scroll, Ted, the report has been signed by Navient's Senior Vice President and General Counsel, Matthew Sheldon. Now, what do we make of all this? Executive compensation is always a hot topic. It's interesting to see companies adjusting these packages, especially with performance-based incentives. This can make it so the company and the CEO are more aligned in their goals from a financial perspective. So, taking a step back, how does Navient look overall? Here's my simple take. Navient seems to be trying to tie its CEO's pay very closely to company performance. On one hand, it could motivate the CEO to make decisions that boost the stock price and control expenses. But if those targets are too difficult or too easy, they might get the CEO to focus on the wrong things. The risk is that the CEO focuses too much on short-term gains to hit those targets instead of building long-term value for the company. Also, with some of the awards vesting simply by staying with the company and with a special clause if the CEO is terminated in a specific way, it may incentivize bad behaviors. Ultimately, whether this is a good move depends on how well those targets are set and monitored. And of course on whether the company continues to approve compensation increases to the CEO while people are struggling with student loan debt. Alright, that's our breakdown of Navient's latest executive pay update. Remember to drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching.